German local prepositions, video number 3, prepositions answering the question wohin, where to. In today's lesson, I will explain you all the prepositions that you can use to answer the question wohin, where to. I will show you when you have to use which case, and I will also show you the difference between in and zu, and also the difference in when to use zu or nach, because the use of those 3 prepositions is very specific. Hi, my name is Jan and I'm your German teacher here on EasyDeutsch, your YouTube channel for German grammar. Today's topic is local prepositions, answering the question where to, wohin. There's a whole bunch of prepositions that can answer this question. So today I will show you with the help of my ebook 137 German prepositions, which preposition you can use to answer the question where to, and I will show you which case you have to use with them, and also the very distinct differences between in, zu, and nach. So we're here now in my ebook 137 German prepositions. Today's topic is local prepositions answering the question wohin, where to. So let's have a look. Usually if we answer the question where to, we can use all the prepositions that we use to answer the question wo to. If you've forgotten them or don't know them, check out my video about the prepositions answering the question wo that I link for you in the info cards, because those are exactly the same here except for by. By we can use for answering wohin. We have to use zu or nach instead. When you have to use zu, when you have to use nach, more about that later. Why can we use just the same prepositions? Well, it's simple. If we describing an action that is going into a direction, it usually ends in a position. So ich gehe auf die Kiste. I go onto the box. That's why we are describing that movement towards a position. That's why here we can use the same preposition. But we have to pay attention a little bit with the cases, because depending on the position or the movement, we have to use 2 different cases. That's why those prepositions are also called two-case prepositions. I have a special video just about two-case prepositions that I will link for you in the info cards, upper right corner. But let's have a quick look what two-case prepositions are. The so-called two-case prepositions work exactly like the example here above. In the moment we are talking about the position, so when we answer the question wo, we use dative case. But in the moment we answer the question wohin, so if it's a movement from A to B, then we use the accusative case. So ich bin auf der Kiste, I'm on the box, or ich gehe auf die Kiste, I go onto the box. Here we describe the movement from A to B, while here we are describing the position itself. That's no movement, so dative, but this is a movement, and pay attention, very important, a movement from A to B. Then we use the accusative. More examples in the two-case preposition video for you. Here I will just go through one more example. Er geht auf einen Berg, so he goes on a mountain, or on top of a mountain, onto a mountain, and er steht auf einen Berg. He stands on top of a mountain. Here we are talking about the position, so we're asking where does he stand? Dative. And here we ask where does he go? accusative because it's a movement from A to B, from somewhere to the top of the mountain. Works the same with all the other prepositions. Here, you notice those are all the prepositions that you can use to answer the question wo. All of them are two-case prepositions except for by. And in the case we use by, we have in or zu. Because there is a slight difference, similar to the difference from aus and von. So if you haven't checked my video about the difference of aus and von, I will link that for you in the info cards, because here it's just the opposite. If we are focusing on entering something physically, we use in. Ich gehe in die Kiste hinein. So we enter something physically. I go into the box. Ich komme zu dir. I come to you. That means close, but not inside of me. So you're not coming to inside me. That's not possible. But it's possible to go inside a box. It's possible to go inside a building. So that's the opposite of aus and von. If you want to explain that you're coming from somewhere, you would use here ich komme aus der Kiste or ich komme von zu Hause, von dir. So it's the pure opposite of aus and von. Here we're focusing if somebody comes close to something. So that's why zu is always used if you're describing going to a person. And if we really want to highlight that we're entering something physically, we would use in. There's also some slight special characteristics for zu, because you have to replace it sometimes with nach. So this you have to do if you're talking about continents, countries, cities, and regions. For anything else, you will use zu if you're going to something. So, ich gehe nach Deutschland. I'm going to Germany. Ich fliege nach Amerika. I'm flying to America. Ich fahre nach Berlin. I drive to Berlin. Ich fahre nach Sachsen. I drive to Saxony. That's a German region. Ich fahre zu meiner Oma. I drive to my grandma. Here, it's zu, because that my grandma is not a continent, country, city, or region, and we are not going inside her, right? We're just going to her house somewhere. There's one exception to nach, and it's always when we use a country or region, such as die Schweiz, with an article. If there's an article in front of the country or region, we use in instead of nach. So, ich fahre nach Deutschland, but ich fahre in die Schweiz. Deutschland doesn't use an article, Switzerland does. Also, ich fliege nach Kalifornien. I fly to California, but ich fliege in die Toskana. So I fly into the Toscana region in Italy. So if you have an article in front of it, that's when you have to use in instead of nach. So as a summary, if we are focusing on entering something, going inside, use in. If we are focusing on going somewhere and not focusing on inside, entering, use zu, except it's a continent, country, city, or region. That you have to use nach, except we use an article in front, which is rare. Usually that's happening most of the time only to a few countries. If you want to have a complete list of the countries, I have one in my ebook, 40 plus German grammar lists. There you will find that. You will find the link to that ebook in the video description below. There is the full list of all the countries that use an article. The most common ones that you might use more often is Switzerland, Turkey, and due to the news, maybe Iran, and everything that's plural, like USA or Philippines. So, short summary for the whole video. All prepositions that answer the question wo can also be used to answer the question wohin. Only exception is by. By, we have to use zu or in instead, or nach, like I just explained to you. Everything else will just be exactly according to the location, the position that we are achieving after the movement has ended. Here, this thing works with all the other prepositions. Auf, über, unter, vor, hinter, in, neben, an, and zwischen. And you have to choose dative or accusative according to the question. So if you're asking for a position, it's dative. And if you're asking for a direction, so wohin, where to, you use accusative case. If you have any further question about local prepositions, please do not hesitate to write them in the comment section below. I always try to answer all your questions. And if you like this little mini series about local prepositions, please hit the like button and share it with your friends and your fellow students. That's always a great support. Thanks for this in advance. And if you like the ebook that you've just seen in this video, you will find the link for the ebook in the comment section below and also in the video description. Purchasing my ebooks is a great support that makes it possible for me to keep publishing this free content here for you. Thanks for this support. I hope you've learned a lot today and that I will see you again in one of my other videos. And until then, viel Spaß und Erfolg beim Deutschlernen.